Do you dream of becoming a grandmaster? Then don't watch this video because you're about to be seduced by the London system. Now I am not going to reveal the name of the white player here. Just imagine your friend who thinks he can play chess but actually can't. Well, this guy is a bigger noob than him and he's going to be the white pieces against a strong grandmaster, and he'll be playing the London system after d4, d5, bishop f4. Black responded with knight f6, e3, c5, c3, knight c6, knight d2, e6, and knight f3. And we reach the starting position of one of the main lines, where after bishop d6, bishop g3, white is going to try an attack on the king side. And after castles, bishop d3, you can see the bishop is pointed in the right direction. And after b6, which is the main line, he plays e4. Now, if black here, for example, captures on e4, then he will have a slightly worse position where black will have absolutely no chances to win. And that's why he plays bishop e7, which is the main line here. And after e5, knight h5, queen e2. So the queen will slowly crawl towards the king side with this maneuver at some point once black plays g6. And now cd4. Now, this is a mistake because usually this knight is the one putting pressure on d4. And by capturing this after knight takes, pawn takes, and g6 and castles, you can see once white goes knight f3, there is no pressure on the pawn on d4. And there is no way black can even attack this. And now white has a free hand on the king side. So after a6, queen e3, as I mentioned, knight g3, edge g3, queen d7, rook e1, rook c8, g4, a very important move. And here, black played a5. And after g5, black was forced to play queen d8. If, for example, he tries again the same idea, let's say, white can just capture, rook takes a6, and now he can play an amazing move, knight to h2, and the knight is headed to f6. I am sure black does not feel so comfortable about allowing that. So we go back to this position where he played queen d8, and now g3. So now the g file is kind of closed. So we want to use the open h file for the attack. And after a4, black wants to play a3 so that when you capture it, he can go rook c3 and create some counterplay. That's why prophylaxis, Karpov style, a3. And after b5, king g2, a very normal move. And now b4, black is trying to create some counterplay. He has to. There is no defense on the king side. Because of these two pawns, there is no way black can bring enough pieces to defense for the h7 pawn. And after ab4, rook c4, an amazing exchange sacrifice, because if white captures, pawn takes, and suddenly black has some chances again with the open bishop. This bishop is much stronger than any of white's rooks, to be honest, and that's why white player simply went for rook h1. He is not going to be tempted. And after rook b4, queen f4. Now, can you see the threat? The threat is rook takes h7, king takes h7, queen f7 check, king h8, and rook h1 mate. So black plays h5, sacrificing a pawn temporarily, and what he ideally wants is white to capture like this, and then he can try to, for example, play queen f8 and king h8 and use white's own pawn to kind of defend his king. But white plays g4. He does not fall into black's trap and opens up the h file. And after rook b3, g takes h5, queen f8, rook d1, queen g7, rook h3. White is planning to double. After rook b2, rook h1, rook f8, takes, rook h8, queen takes, and takes. And now white is completely winning. He finished black off with queen h4, king g8, and bishop g6, threatening queen h7 mate. Black had nothing else than rook f7, takes, queen h5, king f8, g6, and now here black out of frustration played on. But now I'm sure you can find the mate in one here with queen h8. And this was a very quick win for the white player, who was a complete noob, as we mentioned, against a strong grandmaster named Lucas Van Forest. You can Google up his rating. That will tell you everything you need to know. And this is why the London system is a great opening, especially if you want to avoid insane amount of opening theory, you want to focus on the middle game and the end game, and you feel you want some attacking chances. So hope you like this video. If you did, do like and subscribe. And well, there's another video here which you might like.